Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to ARD Static Series. So today in this video we will be covering your lecture number 15, that is on the chapter Ecology and Climate Change. See aspirants, I know many questions have not been asked from this chapter, but still it is a part of our syllabus, that is why it is important, right? And there are many terminology which are confusing to us. So to clear all these confusion, I have come up with this video and I will be clearing up few important terminology regarding your ecology and climate change. So that is all what we are going to do here. But before starting, I have a request. If you are new to our channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also if you want to download the PDF of this lecture, you can join us on our Telegram channel. Chalo, let's start. But first, I have to answer the question that I have given you in the previous video, which was the debt equity ratio. Debt equity ratio kya hai? Basically, it is debt upon owner's equity or net worth. So this is the right answer. This is the correct answer for this question. Clear? Now let's move on to the today's video. So today's video we will be talking about important terminology. So first of all, let us discuss what is ecology. What does the word ecology means? So it is basically a science that deals with the relationship between living organism with their physical environment and with each other. So basically ecology is the science. It is a science which is dealing with the interaction of organism with their environment or interaction of organism among themselves. So in simple terms, interaction of organism among themselves or with their environment is your ecology. The study of this interaction is your ecology. Clear? So now I hope the definition of ecology is clear to you. Now let's move on to the next, that is applied ecology. What is applied ecology? So applied ecology is basically a branch of ecology that deals with the predicting the impact of technology, development and making recommendations. So whenever we are doing any development, whenever we are introducing any technology or we are recommending something, so what impact this technology, this recommendation or this development will have on our society, on these organisms, that is studied under your applied ecology. So it is basically branch of ecology. It is the branch of ecology that deals with the predicting the impact of technology, development and making recommendation such that how these activities will have adverse or positive impact. Okay, both the way we are studying, we will study if any technology will have adverse effect or positive effect. So both way we study under your applied ecology. Clear? So that was about your applied ecology. Then we have next, that is agroecology. Now as the name suggests, agroecology, agro means something related to agriculture. So here in this agroecology is applied science that studies ecological process applied to agriculture production system. So whenever we are applying the principles of ecology in the agriculture production system, that is your agroecology. Now I hope what is ecology, what is applied ecology and what is agroecology is clear to you, right? Now let's move on to the next, that is interactions. So we discussed that ecology is about interaction of organism among themselves or with their environment, right? So interaction is very important here, and there are two type of interaction. These interaction can be positive as well as negative. So basically there can be a two type of interaction among organism, that is positive and negative. So basically interaction among living organism are grouped under two major groups. So all the interaction that is happening among the organism, they are broadly grouped under two categories. That is, first is our positive interaction and second is our negative interactions. Now what are the positive interactions, what are the negative interaction, and what types of positive and negative interactions are seen in the environment, in the ecology, that we will study now. Okay, first is your positive interaction. So as the name suggests, positive means someone will be benefiting from here. Okay, it is not harming anyone. The result is good, right? So basically your positive interaction, what happens here, the population help one another, okay, the interaction being either one way or reciprocal, okay, either one organism is helping another organism, or they both are mutually helping themselves, helping each other. So that is your positive interaction. ठीक है? So the positive interaction, the type of positive interaction that we have is commensalism, proto-cooperation and mutualism. Okay, so there are basically these positive interaction can be grouped into three parts: commensalism, proto-cooperation, mutualism. So as we say that the positive interaction, or the one organism can benefit the other in one way, okay, that for example you and your friend are there, okay, and you are providing notes to your friends, so you are giving positive interaction, there is a positive interaction. For example, there is a subject which you find difficult and your friend wanted to help you and you ask help to your friend, so you have both way interaction. So your positive interaction can be one way or both way. So that was about the positive interaction. Now this interaction can be one way, both way, and depending upon the type of positive interaction, we have three types of positive interaction, that is commensalism, proto-cooperation and mutualism. Now what are these, what are the meaning and what are the example of these? Let us discuss. So first is your commensalism. Okay, first type of positive interaction that we have is commensalism. So in this, one species derives benefit while the other is unaffected. So basically in this interaction, one of the organism is benefiting while the another is remaining unaffected. Means you are just giving notes to your friend and that's it, you are not asking anything from them, right? So that is your one-way interaction, commensalism. For example, I will give you the example here. For example, your orchids growing on branch of tree. So you might have heard that orchids grow on the branch of tree, right? So now the orchid is getting support from the tree. Tree is not getting any benefit from the orchid. It is just there, and it is not affected anyway, right? Trees are not affected, just orchid required a support, and orchid use the branch of tree for growth. So here the type of interaction between orchid and tree is commensalism. Clear? Now moving on to the next, that is proto-cooperation. So what is happening here in the proto-cooperation? Basically in the proto-cooperation, people can live, you and your friend can study alone, right? You don't need if you find any subject difficult, you can study alone also. You can try to get that subject, you can try to research about that subject by yourself also. But what is happening, if you are exchanging note or if you are exchanging your knowledge, then you are helping each other. So here what is happening, that organism can survive on their own, they don't need interaction, but if they interact, they benefit each other. Okay, so that is your proto-cooperation. Now let me give you the example. So there is a bird which is your egret bird, cattle egret. So there is a bird called cattle egret. So this bird feed on the moth, flies, ticks, mites, right? So this bird feed on these things, and sometimes when the cattle have the infestation of ticks, mice, or any insect or any type of pest, this bird feed these insects from the cattle body. So now you can see that the cattle can live its own, this bird can live its own, but when this bird find the food on the cattle body, so he can get these food from the cattle body, and also the cattle is benefited, all the cattle is also getting away from all these pests and insects, right? So now what is happening, they both can live their own life alone also, but when they are interacting, they are benefiting each other. So that type of interaction is known as proto-cooperation. So here cattle egret plus your cattle, okay, cattle which is infested cattle, which is infested with tick or mite, that is your example of proto-cooperation. Now next type of positive interaction we have mutualism. Okay, Now mutualism, as the name suggests, mutualism. Now here mutual benefit is taken from each other. So the organism come together for the mutual benefit of each other, right? So basically mutually beneficial interspecific interaction are more common among organisms. Here both species derives benefits. In such association there occurs a close and often permanent obligatory contact essential for survival of each other. Now here they are very essential for survival of each other. Okay, the mutual benefit, they are getting mutual benefit from each other. So that type of interaction is known as mutualism. Clear? Now it is clear. I hope this is clear to you. And for example, the interaction between your legumes and rhizomes. Now your legumes and rhizome interaction can be considered as mutualism, because here what is happening, your legume is getting nitrogen that is being fixed by rhizome to the roots, and your legumes are utilizing that nitrogen, while your rhizome is getting shelter on the legume roots. Okay, so the legume crop have nodules in their roots where these rhizomes live. So what is happening, rhizome is fixing nitrogen for the legumes and legume is providing shelter to the rhizome. So they are mutually benefiting each other. Okay, and this is a positive interaction, and they are mutually both essential for each other, because legume plant need nitrogen, so rhizome is providing nitrogen to the legume, while rhizome needs shelter, so that legume root is providing shelter to the rhizomes. So both are mutually interacting with each other and mutually beneficial for each other. So that is the example of your mutualism. Now I hope these three type of positive interactions are clear to you. Clear? Then we have negative interactions. Now what does negative interaction means? The interaction where someone is getting harm, where someone is getting killed, okay, or where there is a negative impact on any one organism. So that all interaction is your negative interaction. So member of one population may eat member of other population, compete for food, or otherwise interfere with the other population. Or sometimes what is happening in plant, it is seen that they release some allelochemicals. Allelochemicals are harmful chemicals. So whenever we are sowing any other plant near that plant which is releasing allelochemicals, that can help, that can deteriorate, that can prevent the growth of another plant. So sometimes these waste also, through this waste also there can be negative interaction. Clear? So that is about the negative interaction. Now there are four types of negative interaction. First is predation, parasitism, competition, and antibiosis. Now what are these type of negative interaction? Let us discuss one by one. So first is predation. Okay, a predator is free living that catches and kill another species for food. So we often had heard about predators. Predators means those who prey others, right? Those who kill other. So basically your predator is a free living organism that is killing other organism for its food. So that is called predation. Here the other organism is being killed. So here is a harmful interaction, that this is a negative interaction. So that is your under predation. Most of these predatory organisms are animal, but there are some plants which are carnivorous plants, especially fungi, which feed upon another animals. We know about the fungi are saprophytes, so they live on another animals. So mostly they are animals. These predators are mostly animals, but sometimes few plants are also predators. Okay. Then we have next interaction. So I hope now this is clear to you. For example of predation is like, for example, your cattle is browsing the grass. Okay, your cattle is killing the grass for feeding themselves. So that is the example. Cattle browsing on grass. So this is the example of predation. Then we have parasitism. So parasitism means it is a term related to parasite. So what is this parasite and what is a parasitism? Basically parasite is an organism living on or in the body of another organism for deriving food permanently from its tissue. So basically parasite means it is not killing the animal, it is not killing the organism, it is just living on or inside the body of that other organism, that is host organism. Okay, so this type of association, this type of interaction is known as parasitism. Okay, so a parasite will just live on or inside the body of the host, and it will derive the nutrition from the host and will not kill it. Okay, the host will live, the parasite will live on the host, but anyhow it is deriving nutrition from the host, so it is a negative interaction. Your host is getting less nutrition and that nutrition is going to that parasite, so that is your parasitism. So basic difference between parasitism and predatism is that in parasite the host is not killed, while in your parasitism host is killed. Okay, host get killed. So that is about the parasitism. So for example, example of parasitism is your cuscuta. Cuscuta, you might have heard, it is a very noxious plant because it live on other plant and derive nutrition from them, and they dry, this lead to the drying out of other other crops or on the crops which this cuscuta is living. So cuscuta plus any crop, so this crop cuscuta when grow on any other crop, it derive nutrition from that crop and lead to the slow dying of that plant. Clear? So that was about parasitism. Then we have another type of negative interaction, that is competition. So basically it is a condition in which there is a suppression of one organism as the two species struggle for limited quantities of nutrition, O2 space and other requirements. So basically there is a competition. Why there is a competition? Because there is a limited resources. Also among the aspirants, there is a competition because there are only few limited number of seats. So you compete for those number of seats, right? So that type of interaction is known as competition. So here what is happening? For example here are crops. Okay, in between crops also there is a competition for air, water, nutrients, okay, sunlight. So such type of competition, such type of interaction exists, and in between crops also they are on the soil, so they fight for the nutrient, they fight for the water, water uptake. So that type of interaction is known as competition. Now next interaction we have antibiosis. So basically this is the phenomenon of the production of antibiotics called antibiosis. The antibiotic is an organic substance produced by one organism in which low concentration inhibit the growth of other organisms. So basically here from one organism some substance is being released in some low concentration which is inhibiting the another organism. Okay? So that type of interaction is known as your antibiosis. Clear? So for example, your Trichoderma hertzianum. Okay, your Trichoderma hertzianum is basically a biopesticide which is killing your Rhizoctonia. So basically it is a type of antibiosis where your Trichoderma hertzianum is a biopesticide which is releasing some chemicals in low concentration which is killing your pest, that is Rhizoctonia. Clear? So this is the example here. Now I hope these are clear to you. Let's move on to the next, that is succession. What is succession? Interaction we have completed. Now we will be moving on to the another important, that is succession. So basically succession is the orderly process of community development that involves changes in species structure, community process with time, and it's reasonable, directional and therefore predictable. So succession means progress. Okay, it can be termed as progression. So how a place is changing. For example, I'll explain it through example. For example, we have a barren land. Okay, it is full of rocks, there is no vegetation there, but slowly lichens start invading these rocks. Okay, these rocks these rocks get cracks in between them, and these lichens start invading them. So what will happen after rainfall? In these cracks water get depositing. Then what will happen? Algae will start growing. Similarly, after algae, fern will start growing. Similarly, pteridophytes will start growing, and so on and so on. Evolution will be there. Okay, there will be a succession from lower lichen group to the higher plants. So this is called a succession. Okay, it is a progression, or it is a process of community development that change the species structure. So what will happen? That barren land will develop into the forest. That is completed changely due to this succession process. So that is your succession. Now your succession can be two type. There is primary succession and secondary succession. So basically, then as the name suggests, primary. So primary means initial. So it starts from the primitive substratum where there was no previously any sort of living matter. Okay, so when there is no sort of living matter, no plants, nothing was there. There were only rocks, only minerals. Then what will happen? Lichen started growing there. So that is your primary succession. Okay, when there was nothing and primarily your lichens start growing on the rocks, that is primary succession. And the first group of organism, that is your lichens, established is known as pioneers or primary community or primary colonizer. Okay, so they are called the very first organism to invade any area or any substratum. They are called as pioneers, primitive colonizer, or primary community. Clear? So that was about your primary succession. Then we have secondary. So secondary succession starts on the previously built up substrata. Okay, now for secondary succession, what is happening? We have a substrata, and on that substratum your secondary succession starts. So after your lichens, algae, then your ferns and bigger plants start growing. So that is your secondary succession. Clear? So that is your secondary succession. Now I hope primary and secondary succession are clear to you. Then we have another type of succession, that is autogenic succession. Okay, what is this autogenic? Basically, the result of its interaction with environment modify its own environment and thus causing own replacement. Now let me explain you this to you in easy language. So basically what is happening, for example, we have grown a seedling of tree, and now this tree started growing, and slowly it becomes so big and it started providing shade to a large area. Now what will happen? Under the shade of this tree, your shade plant will start growing. Okay, now your tree is replacing itself to the another community. That type of succession is known as autogenic succession. Clear? Then we have allogenic succession. So basically allogenic means replacement of existing community caused largely by external condition. So basically your autogenic succession happens due to biotic factor. Okay, means living factor, and your allogenic succession happens due to abiotic factors. Clear? So in allogenic, what is happening here? Due to some abiotic conditions, so due to some abiotic factors, the existing community just got replaced by something else, right? Okay, for example, we have a fertile land. Okay, we have a fertile soil, and what happened? There is a soil erosion. Slowly your fertile soil get eroded. Now what is happening? Earlier the soil was used to fertile, it used to grow crops, right? And after the erosion, it became degraded, it became of no use, and now there is a low productivity. So it has changed the entire community. Okay, so that is your allogenic succession. Clear? Now I hope autogenic and allogenic are clear to you. Let's move on to the another type, that is autotrophic succession. So as the name suggests, autotrophic. Autotrophs are plants. So basically characterized by early continued dominance of autotrophic organism like green plants. So where there is an earlier dominance of green plant, that is your autotrophic succession. Auto means plant, autotrophs means they are capable of making their own food. So they are plants. So here you can remember autotroph by early and continued dominance of autotrophic organism like green plants. Then we have heterotrophic succession. Heterotrophs means which depend on another for food, right? So it is characterized by early dominance of heterotrophs such as bacteria, actinomycetes, fungi, and animals. So basically they depend on another plant, another organism for food. So if there is a dominance of such organism, that is your heterotrophic succession. Clear? Now I think I hope these are clear to you. Then we have another term, that is nudation. Okay, this is also an important term. It is a development of barren area without any form of life. So basically what happened, due to some changes, sometime area get converted into barren land. Okay, any land get converted into barren land, that is called nudation. Okay, so it can be caused by due to topographic soil erosion by winds, as I have given the example that like due to soil erosion your land can get degraded, the quality of land can get degraded, and now there can be a chance that there is no vegetation, so it lead to its nudation, right? Then climatic storm or frost, biotic man disease, or any epidemic. It can be due to any region. So whenever a land is being converted into barren land, that is your nudation, and it can be due to any region. Then we have invasion. Invasion, as the name suggests, invasion. Okay, someone is invading. So here, successful establishment of species on a barren area. If we have a barren area and there is a species which has successfully established itself on that area, that is your invasion. Okay, these species reaches new site from any another area. That can be due to migration. For example, a species is finding suitable location for itself, so they have migrated from somewhere where there is a scarcity of any resources, and now they have moved to a new area and they have well established in that new area. That is your invasion. They have invaded new area. Clear? So these terminology, these are the terminology which are very important. And now I hope all the concept which we have discussed right now till now is clear to you, right? Now let us discuss question. First is, which of the following science deals with the relationship between living organism with their physical environment and with each other? Very easy, it is ecology. Then we have, in which of the following interaction one species derives the nutrition while the other is unaffected? Okay, here one is deriving the nutrition but another is unaffected. Okay, so here answer will be commensalism. So one species derive the benefit. Example of orchid growing on a tree. Orchid is deriving the benefit of support, but trees remain unaffected, right? So our right answer will be commensalism. Then we have legume rhizobium symbiosis is example of which of the following interaction? We have discussed this, and it is mutualism, because they are mutually benefiting each other. Clear? Then we have next, Trichoderma hertzianum inhibit the growth of Rhizotonia species is the example of which of the following interaction? We have discussed this, that Trichoderma will release some chemical in low concentration that will inhibit the growth of Rhizotonia. And I'll tell you, let me tell you that this Rhizotonia is very invasive pest, means this causes disease in lot of crops. Okay, and we are using this Trichoderma hertzianum as a biopesticide to control this Rhizotonia species. So the right answer here will be, the type of interaction is antibiosis. We have studied this, it is your antibiosis. Clear? Then we have development of barren area without any form of life is termed as, that is your nudation. We have discussed this. And then there is a practice question for you, which is, which of the following is an orderly process of community development that involves changes in species structure and community processes with time, and it is reasonably directional and therefore predictable. So this is the practice question for you. You have to solve this, and do let me know the answer of this question in the comment box. So that was all for this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. But before closing this video, I have an announcement that we have launched a comprehensive NABARD guidebook for you, which is your one-step solution to all your queries regarding NABARD and NABARD examination. Not only that, it will provide you the decoded syllabus, PYQ, strategy and resources to crack this NABARD grade A examination, and all that for free. Yes, you can avail this guidebook for free, and for that you have to go to the description box, click on the link, register yourself and avail this guidebook for yourself. Clear? So that was all for this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you so much.